Rupesh Mainali. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Very good. It's very nice to meet you.
You too. Can I know your good name?
Yes, my name is Brianna.
Okay, you are that lady who used to ask the questions there in the app.
Yes, so today I'm going to ask you some more questions, but not IELTS questions.
Yes, it's so good that I finally got a chance to meet you.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you as well. I'm sure you feel like you know me because you have seen
Yes,
my face.
I, I I used to talk to you daily before I gave the IELTS exam.
Yes, and so your name is Rupesh?
Yes, Rupesh Mainali.
Rupesh.
Um, yeah.
And so why did you take the IELTS exam?
I was planning to study postgraduate course in Canada. So for that, I need to appear IELTS exam and demonstrate that I'm capable of learning in English medium. For that reason, I took the IELTS exam.
Oh, great. And I just want to let you know that we are recording the questions. Is that
Uh,
okay?
yes, it's completely fine with me.
Okay, great. And how long did it take you to prepare for the IELTS exam?
I had approximately 2 months for preparing to give the exam. And in the beginning, I joined IELTS coaching class. But after the second day, I felt that their style of teaching was not so good for me. And even the timing was also issue as I was working full time. So I was only able to give morning or the evening time, and the most important problem was they were teaching in the native language, and I didn't feel it was fruitful for me, so I stopped going there. And the credit goes to obviously Icorrect and some YouTube videos and IELTS Facebook pages. Those were the resources that I used to prepare for my exam.
Great, that's amazing. That's so good to hear that iCorrect really helped you.
Yes, yes, it really helps. The app is really amazing. Thanks to your team.
Yeah, I'm so glad. So what skills did you find are the most difficult for IELTS?
Okay, for me, the most challenging part was the writing. No matter how much I prepared and practiced, I secured the minimum marks was from my writing. Um, I went through different YouTube videos which were from renowned IELTS teachers. I used to write minimum one essay daily, and another thing is when I get free time, I used to read through many band 9 sample essays, but still the scores of writing was quite low. But it is okay with me. I got the required bands, and it is enough for me to pursue my higher education. I need not have to repeat the IELTS exam, so it's okay with me.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's hard work. So, um, how did you practice your speaking skills for before using iCorrect?
Okay. It was quite challenging task for me because in the surrounding that I work here, everything happens in native language, and if I try to communicate in English, it would be a awkward moment for others. So I was thinking how I could boost my speaking because it is a two-person job. So I went. I posted. I posted in a status in IELTS Facebook page that I'm preparing for my IELTS exam, and if there are anybody who are appearing the exam soon and need a genuine speaking partner, I'm ready. We can have a daily speaking practice for 20 to 30 minutes, and luckily, there were two people who were interested with me to practice in my conditions. And after that, I messaged them, and we began to talk, and we used to talk almost regularly. And then he had an exam quite earlier than me. After he appeared the exam, he was not interested to talk to me, but to that time I was quite confident that I can do well in speaking.
I see. So your problems with that method were that your partner was busy and could not communicate with you anymore.
There were other problems too, like that the timing was quite main problem, because we both need to be free at that particular time, and there were some weakness from my view, from my perspectives too, because I the committed time we were agreed that we would talk in uh, certain time, maybe 6 or 7 p.m. Sometimes you would be late, and sometimes I would be late. And other problem was my partner was somehow shy to talk if there are other members in his house. So sometimes his friends or relatives used to come there in his room, and at that time he wouldn't be quite comfortable to talk to me. And other one challenging problem for me was uh, the both person who are practicing should be of same skill, same level of speaking. As if the person whom I am practicing is quite of higher skills than mine, or lower skills of mine than mine, then it would be quite monotonous, and it would our conversation would be quite boring. So for initially there were I used to talk with 5 or 6 people. I messaged them for the conversation, and after 2 or 3 conversations, now we couldn't continue that due to this reason. And finally, there were 2 people with whom I practiced frequently, and it went for a long time.
Great. And so how did you hear about iCorrect?
Okay, there is a quite interesting incident in it. Um, After the second day, I joined the local IELTS coaching institute. I wasn't quite satisfied by their services. Then I came back, and I researched in the past status of IELTS Facebook page. There are several IELTS Facebook pages, and I searched the older post there, that if the members have suggested any ways for preparations. And I got there several websites and a few Google Drive links, and some members who have suggested different apps, and Icorrect was one of them. At that day, I installed 12 mobile applications for the IELTS preparation. Uh, I then after I explored the different features of each app. Few apps were of no use for me, and I uninstalled them. And there were 2 or 3 applications that I used till my date of examination, and iCorrect was one of them. I felt really great while doing speaking test in iCorrect. Uh, Frankly speaking, iCorrect, I fully relied on speaking in this application, and the results were quite good. So I'm really thankful to the team who managed this application, and thank you so much.
That makes us really happy to hear. So what was it about iCorrect that was different from the other applications?
Okay. Um, After since I was preparing self, I first I didn't know the typical IELTS format, speaking format in the speaking test. I go through the YouTube videos, and I learned the structures, how the questions were asked, and after that I watched the Band 9 IELTS mock test of speaking, and from this effort, I got theoretical knowledge of the IELTS speaking. What Icorrect is different from that is through this platform, I can perform myself and gain the real experience of the IELTS test. From that, I was clear that how I need to speak. And another important thing is I learned how much I need to speak in each part. This app allows us to speak 30 seconds for section 1 and 2 minutes for section 2 and 45 seconds for section 3. So after practicing continuously, I was quite confident that in what time frame I need to talk and what were the subject matter that I need to include. And another thing is I got a chance to listen the other app users how they are performing and how the question I practice first, and I listen the same answer of those users, and after that the corrections given by you were also quite important for me, because actually you were correcting them, but I was also learning from the correction that you have given to the mistakes that are done by other users. Also, another important thing is the questions that are asked in this app are quite similar to that of questions that are asked in a real test. Few questions that I practiced from this app were actually asked to me in the real exam. So I don't know
Wow.
whether I got whether I got lucky, or you guys quite research in the real test. So this is how I got benefited in speaking part through your application.
Great. So would you say like iCorrect helped you because it was like speaking to a real person, as well as like time management, so that you knew how long you had to speak for each question, and then also your ability to speak with other users and have feedback from other users?
Yes, exactly. And every time I sit for I use this app, I feel that I'm giving a mock speaking test, um, and that was great.
Great. That's really good to hear. I just have a few more questions for you. Um, how long after using iCorrect did you feel more confident about your speaking skills?
Uh, it is, I don't know the exact time, but after I was using this app for about 1 month, I was pretty confident that I can answer all the questions of each part in the exam. Then I booked the IELTS test date, and I it well pretty well.
Yeah, that's so exciting. How often did you use the application?
You won't believe me, but uh, every morning before breakfast, because once I have my breakfast, I will go out, and I don't know, my working condition is quite that time is not limited. After I go, then I would be busy in my own stuffs, and the returning time is not fixed. So the best time for me to use this app and prepare for the speaking was the morning time. So the before breakfast, I have separated 10 to 15 minutes. I first completed the daily task. Your app gives the daily task of practicing test 1, test 2, test 3 accordingly. Then after, I listened how other speakers answered that top sharing section. Do you have? I used to listen that, and I go for the corrections of the other users, and in the beginning I felt that the other users were speaking better than me, so I copied their structures too. This is how improve day by day in the speaking part.
Great, that's great to hear. And so will you recommend iCorrect to your friends?
Actually, I've recommended it quite a few times already. my brother is also preparing for his master's in Canada, so he is also using it currently. And I've posted that Icorrect is really helpful in some of the IELTS Facebook pages. Since it's good for the participant, that it is building the confidence for the participant, and it really feels good to share my experience with other IELTS test takers who are preparing for it. So yes, I would definitely recommend in future days to other people who are preparing for IELTS exam.
Great. And so what do you think the most important thing or the thing you like most about Icorrect?
I think the Icorrect is a complete package for speaking. But if I had to tell about a certain section, then I would go for the feedback, the correction that the expert gives. The experts are outstanding. The way they give the corrections are up to the mark. They point out my strength and weakness. According to them, my fluency and pronunciation was fine, but I need to improve in the lexical resource and grammar. I took their advice seriously and prepared more for grammar and vocabulary. Then when the score came, I was thanking Icorrect from inside, that the speaking credit goes to Icorrect.
That makes us so happy. I'm so happy that it was so useful and helpful to you. And I just want to say congratulations for passing the IELTS exam.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Rupesh, it was so nice to meet you.
One more thing I would like to, since you are live there, I would like to request is, there are several Icorrect users, right? I could hear how they speak in your test, their answers, but other thing we can, if it is possible, then there is a follow button. If a person speaks really well, and if I like their speaking, I could follow them. By any means, if it is possible to message or practice live, if through Icorrect app, if I am able to contact and call that person and practice speaking with him through Icorrect, then it would be really helpful. It would be more helpful by the way, and
thank you so much for the feedback. Okay,
you are welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you. I'm going to have to say goodbye.
Goodbye, and once again, thank you so much. You guys are doing really great, and keep it up. And best of luck for your future days.
Yes, congratulations. Good luck with your studies.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.